You're listening to CFRN, a community of believers who trade for a living. To learn more about who we are, what we do, and how we do it, call toll-free 1-866-928-3310, and we'll send you out a no-obligation information kit absolutely free. 866-928-3310. The CFRN Emini Futures Cast is now on Stitcher. Listen to us on your iPhone, Android phones, BlackBerry, and WebOS phone. Stitcher is smart radio for your phone. Find it in your app store or at Stitcher.com. Stitcher Smart Radio, the smarter way to listen to radio.
Are you ready, Steve? Andy? Yeah! Bert? Well, all right, fellas. Let's go!
You're listening to CFRN, the Christian Financial Radio Network.
Today's broadcast is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download at www.audibletrial.com/CFRN. Over 85,000 titles. Choose from mystery, romance, religion, science, technology, business, New York Times bestsellers, even children's books. You name it, Audible has it. With 85,000 titles to choose from, you're sure to find the perfect audiobook for yourself or to give as a gift, and it's absolutely free. Just point your browser to audibletrial.com/CFRN. That's audibletrial.com/CFRN. And become a part of the audiobook revolution by downloading your free audiobook today. audibletrial.com/CFRN.
Hey, trader, want to get rich quick? Well, good luck with that. If, on the other hand, you actually want to learn how to trade, the place to be is www.cfrn.net. Tune in Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern for our daily devotional, and then spend the next 3 hours learning how it's done from professional traders who actually trade for a living. That's www.cfrn.net. Every trading day from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern. CFRN, a community of believers who trade for a living.
Good afternoon, traders, and welcome back to the CFRN Emini Futures Cast. This is the daily broadcast of Indeterminate Length, where we discuss all things Emini, along with some really big ideas on the finer points of trading gold, bonds, crude, sugar, the euro, and even T-bills. Joining us today from our studios in Boston, Mr. Michael Borth. From our trading desk in Chicago, Mr. Burton Schlichter. Now, to get things started, let's go to our host and founder in Studio A, overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city park. Here's Dwayne.
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome back. Today is Thursday, 27th day of February, 2020. Thanks so much for joining us. Whoever you are, wherever you are, we're just glad to have you right here, right now. If you can't see the screen I have up, go to our homepage at CFRN.net. On the right-hand side of the page, click the big microphone, follow the instructions. You'll be registered in about 30 seconds, and that will give you one-click access to the show each and every day. On the days you're out of the office, away from the desktop, not to worry, point any internet-connected browser to cfrn.net/live. There you'll find a live real-time simulcast of the show as it unfolds. You'll also find us streaming live during the show on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. All right, let's take a look at a daily chart of the S&P 500 Emini Futures. That is a 30-minute chart. We'll get to that a little later in the show. But let's go to the daily. Okay. Now, 2 days ago, that would have been Tuesday, we gave out this window of opportunity in this falling market. Worked out to be about a 30-point move. On yesterday's show, we gave out this window of opportunity. The arrow stalls. You get the idea. There it is. Right there. Now, all the way down, we've marked the various areas where the market should find support and at least catch a bounce. And it has. Here, and here, and here, and again here. And now we've reached the big one. Okay. Remember this swing high that we had back July 26th. And then we had a swing high, looks like September 19th. And then we went on the mother of all rallies, leg and a retracement to the BBC, a leg and a retracement, a leg and a retracement that ultimately held, taking us to the all-time historic high in the S&P 500 Emini Futures, 3397 and a half. And over the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sessions, has put the market back at levels last seen September of 2019. Markets fall typically faster than they rally, especially when you have something going on like we have right now with the coronavirus, and the news seems to be getting worse before it gets better. So what's next? We have this bullish cross right here. If this area ultimately fails to hold, there's a potential area for support right around 29.65. That fails to hold, and we're talking about lows down around 28.80. And if that fails to hold, 28.23. This is happening live in real time as we all watch it. Okay? They say it couldn't happen,
crazy.
But it happened. Let me give you the numbers real quick from around the world. These are the cash markets, the indices. Then we'll go to Michael and get a recap of what happened in the live training room this morning. Currently, here in the U.S., the Dow is down 332 points. That's 1.25%. NASDAQ is down 132, 1.5%. S&P 500 down 36. That's about 1.25%. And the Russell 2000 is down 20. Again, 1.25%. In the commodity basket, crude oil down $1.51, trading 47.22 last. That's a drop of over 3%. Gold showing a little green, up $5.30, trading 16.48.40 last. In the Asian markets at the close, Nikkei posted a loss of 477 points. That's down over 2%. Shanghai posted a small gain of 3 points. Hang Seng posted a gain of 82 points. And in the European markets, at the close, the FTSE was down 246, 3.5%. DAX down over 400, and that's over 3%. And the CAC down 188 points, that's also over 3%. Mixed day in Asia, surprisingly. A red day in the UK, and a big red radio Thursday here in the US of A. Let's go to Michael, get that recap of everything that happened this morning in the live trading room.
Okay.
And when he's done, I'll be back. We'll go over the Concierge Trade Alerts from last night. We'll take a look at Logic 247 for the week. And if John pops in, we'll have a chat with him. Dr. Tom's out of town at CTAC. He might attempt to call in from the convention floor. I'm not sure if he'll be able to, but he might give that a shot. So, Michael, we've got your charts locked and loaded. So I'll hit mute, and it'll be all yours.
Excellent. Here we go. All right. Crazy day today. Crazy day. I had most of the morning. I had my Crude covered up my ES because the ES wasn't keeping up, and it was just driving me nuts. But anyway, I'll get into all that in just a minute. All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Today is Thursday, the 27th day of February 2000. Excuse me. Okay, the 27th day of February 2020. If you have not taken a free trial with us, go to the homepage here at CFRN.net. In the right-hand column, it says 5-day free trial. Apply.cfrn.net. You can click on that, or you can click on any one of these other things down here. They all go to the same page, which is this one, EminiTrainingschool.com. On this page, all we ask for is your name, your email, your phone number, and you can tell us the biggest trading challenge so we can tailor one-on-one training specifically for you. Hit the send button, and then you'll be sent a confirmation link. You have to click on the confirmation link, okay? If you don't click the confirmation link, we don't know that you took the free trial. So you got to do that. All right, let me go back to this page, and we'll go to the spreadsheet. Today, even though the markets were my DOMs weren't keeping, well, a couple of times, and gain capital had to reset twice today. And it was just jumping all over the place. But fortunately, we got in early, and we got 17 ticks on the ES, 4 ticks on gold, and 18 ticks on crude. That put us up 432.5 on the morning session. Today it took 15 minutes and 2 trades to get to the goal for the day. At that point, we're up $100 a contract. And excuse me, I got to say this: if you're going to read the spreadsheet, you got to read all the CFTC risk disclosures down at the bottom. So on the month now, we're up $3,991. That's over 17 days, averaging $234 a day. On the year, we're up $6,790. That's over 36 days, averaging $188 per day. Okay, so $234 average per day per contract in 2 hours when I miss most of the trades. That's, using our system. It's pretty good. I mean, it was just a beautiful trade right here, another one right there, and there's another one setting up right now. But let's get into it. Now, the high and low of the day, they had to reset everything, and it reset at that time. The high and low did. And when this happened right here, there were opportunities, but this all happened within like 2 or 3 seconds. So, if you had a short on, you get to take advantage of, a $9 drop in gold. But let's just go back to the beginning. Okay, right here is the beginning. There was a shorting opportunity right here, was a momentum short trade. We didn't get filled on it, so we didn't take it. The next opportunity we had, well, there was one right here. I don't know why I didn't highlight that, but there was one right there that didn't put in a lower swing. Excuse me. And then there was another one over here that we did take on gold. We got a break even on it. Then there were 3 right there and 1 right there that we missed. Now, I don't know what I was doing. At the time I was doing training and stuff. And fussing about the ES not being right. Yeah, it looks like there might have been a momentum trade right in here that you could have done. Nothing in here because the cycle was flat and in the middle, but a long trade right here. Now I'm guessing it was going into the high of the day, but we got the high of the day right here, but that's not the accurate high of the day. And then we had another one over here we got to break even on, and another one here, a short that we missed, and then there was another short right here. And where did I get? I didn't even mark up where I got 4 ticks. So one of these that I just said that I missed, it might have been right here where I picked up 4 ticks. Okay, because this was a valid short trade right here. I'll have to go back and look, but I did get 4 ticks in gold this morning. And then it just got crazy. And there was another long opportunity right here. And then we get into the break. And during the break, look at what happened during the break. Gold just fell apart. There was a short here, a short here. Now the cycle's resetting. And so we're not getting anything through here. We get all the way over here and we start getting more shorts. There's one there. There's one there. And it spun around and gave a long right there. Another long right there. And one more long right there. That was gold today. So gold was all over the place. It gave a ton of opportunity. A literal ton of opportunity. It reminds me of a show I watched for the first time ever yesterday. Jada wanted to watch something mindless. And it was my 600-pound, whatever, 600-pound life. And there was a guy on there that was 784 pounds. He was a kid, actually. He wasn't. How do you get that way? I don't know. Right here was a long opportunity that we missed. Then another long opportunity. Oh, no, that was not a long opportunity. I highlighted it, but it was not a long opportunity. It was a close above the trend line. Maybe I was talking about it, and that's why I highlighted it. It was a close above the trend line, but the slingshot was not set up for a long there. It was, however, set up for a long right here. And then again, right here. And then it changed directions, and there was an opportunity for a short right there. Now, Gain Capital was having all kinds of issues this morning. So I was having all kinds of issues this morning. So I was trying to go through and just highlight the trades that we're setting up for people. I think the reason I had highlighted this one was because it was a 137 low. I'm going to start trying to go through the other trade setups in the morning. I'm not going to actually trade them, but I'll point them out for you. So you can trade them if you want. Okay. Now, there was a short opportunity right here. We didn't have a good trend going. That's why I didn't highlight it, I think. And then we get into the break, and there was really nothing during the break. You know, you could have shorted right here, that little leg down. Okay, and crude oil. Now, the high of the day and the low of the day are not accurate. You know, the green line and solid red line, they're not accurate. You know, when Gain had to reset, the high of the day and low of the day started from that point. Okay, so started out with a break even. Then we picked up 10 ticks. This is where we got the goal for the day. Picked up 10 ticks right there. We missed the follow trade because I was logging it. Missed this trade. Then we picked up one more tick here to put us at plus 11. And we missed this one, and then it didn't give us another opportunity all this way down. And this is when the whole reset thing was going on. Okay. And right here, we had a break even. And here we picked up 2 ticks to put us at plus 13. Then we picked up 4 ticks to put us at plus 17. And 1 more tick right here to put us at plus 18. And then we get into the break. Now during the break, there was a shorting opportunity right here. And another one right there. And another one right there. Okay. Now those are shorting opportunities because, well, let's just do this one. It was a close below the trend line before the black step line got up above the BBC. Okay. Now the slingshot is starting to get a little messed up here. It's got to reset. And it did right here on this leg. It did a reset. And then there was a shorting opportunity right there. And then it spun around and it gave a long there. And another long there. And we broke dynamic resistance with this bar. Well, both of these bars actually broke dynamic resistance. And the slingshot had to reset again. We had a 164 short right in here. And over here, we had a long. Okay, and the cycle got flat toward the middle, so I wouldn't have done anything right in here. Okay, and then it turned around again, and we didn't break dynamic support yet, so there was nothing we could do right here. You know, if you wanted to take the chance, you could have shorted off the BBC right in here, but I would have waited until we got down here and taken that short for a break even. And that was it for crude. Now the ES, you know, the ES was all over the place today. Okay, we got 17 ticks on it. I'm going to back it way out because it was all over the place. And I'm not even sure right now. Where are we? I'm not even sure if my DOMs are caught up right now. But I was hesitant to do anything with the ES. Okay, because my DOMs were not matching my charts, and my charts were not matching other people's charts. And so I didn't know what was right. But I did get 17 ticks, I think, right? Let me check. Yeah, I did get 17 ticks this morning. Okay, here we go. Let me scroll down a little bit over here. EF, G, H, I, J, K. Okay. So here we go. Started right out with a shorting opportunity right there. Then another one right there. Then the slingshot got all messed up, so you couldn't really do anything. Okay. You couldn't do anything until over here. There was another shorting opportunity. Now, I don't even see my arrows from the morning session where I took my trades. But there was another shorting opportunity here and another one here. See, the slingshot was all messed up here. The cycle was messed up, so you didn't have long opportunities in there. And it needs to reset itself, which it did. But you can see how much movement there is between each minute. So these were all really fast moves here. There was another short right there. Then it was too close to the middle. Then we didn't have step 2. We didn't have anything there. We turned around and started going north. And right here was a long trade. Right here was a long trade. Here was a long trade. Here was a long trade. Now, I'm saying it's a long trade because it closed above the trend line. Now, I'm just eyeballing the trend line for you. But, you know, in real time, the trend line would have been like that. It would have been like that. Okay. Here was a shorting opportunity. And this was a head and shoulder pattern that I was talking about in the room this morning. And I said, if we get a shorting opportunity here and we break this level right here, we should have a good move down. We did get the shorting opportunity. It was actually right there. And it gave just enough to get the stop to break even. I apparently didn't draw any arrows on here when I did my trades this morning, because I had 3 trades that I actually took on the ES. But it didn't break the neckline. And then it went back up and gave a long opportunity there. A shorting opportunity over here. And I'm just going across. I'm going to do this quickly, because if I go little by little, the way the DS was today, it was just crazy. And I couldn't trade it anyway. Even if I wanted to, I couldn't trade it. Here's a couple of arrows. So there's one of my trades. I picked up 9 ticks on that one. And let's keep going. Oh, there. Okay, I do have my arrows on there. I picked up 9 ticks on that one and 8 ticks on this one to put us at plus 17. And yeah, it was just crazy. I stopped looking at it at about that time. I stopped looking at it. We got a break even here when my DOMs actually came back and caught up. There was a break even there. But for this whole period right here, I just stopped looking at it because my DOMs are not keeping up. And there was a long opportunity here. We had a break even there. There was a long opportunity there. And another one right here. And let's see, then it got kind of sideways for a little while right in here. You could have, yeah, there was really a bunch of garbage in here. There was a long opportunity here that worked out pretty well. And then the slingshot started to get messed up again. Okay. Once it got straightened out, there was a long opportunity here and here for that leg up. And a short opportunity right in here for that leg down. A long right here for that leg. And a follow-up right. Actually, it would have been drawing the trend line. Now, I had pretty much given up on the ES by this point. But drawing the trend line, it would have been from right here for that leg up, and then another one from right here for that leg up. Okay. And I'm just looking at the slingshot right now, looking down here. There was a short opportunity right here. This whole leg down. And now we're getting into the break. And you know what? I'm just going to skip over the break and say there was a ton of opportunity during the break, looking at the slingshot and looking at the price. Okay. You can, it just jumps off the charts at me. There's a short here. There's a short here somewhere. And here. And probably a long here. Yeah. And I'm just looking at the slingshot right now. I'm not even looking at price. A short here. I had a meeting yesterday with one of our partners, and one of the things that I told him That's good, Bill. One of the things that I told him, that I told the people this morning in the room, is, you don't really need the brown line. The brown line's only on there for the 128 trades. But if you do have the brown line, and that is the S1 cycle, if you do have it, and it's down here with the S3 cycle, and you get this kind of divergence between the green line, that's usually going to be a really good trade. Okay, and you can see it multiple times right here. And going the other way, right here, that's usually going to be a really good trade. Okay, I don't know why I haven't told people that in the past, but there it is. All right, and that was the morning session. It was crazy this morning because my charts and DOMs weren't matching up all the time, and I was glad I got what I got early on, and then I didn't have to worry about it so much, and then I could just talk about what was happening. But today, as I said, is 27th day of February 2020. If you're going to read the spreadsheet, you're going to read all the CFTC risk disclosures down at the bottom. Today, we made 18 ticks on crude, 4 ticks in gold, and 17 ticks on the ES. Put us at plus 432.5 on the morning session. And today it took 15 minutes and 2 trades to get to $100 a contract, and we took a total of 13 trades. On the month now, we're up $3,991. That's over 17 days, averaging $234 per day. On the year, we're up $6,790. That's over 36 days, averaging $188 per day. And again, you might think that that's not a big deal, but excuse me, I have hiccups. You might think that's not a big deal, but for anybody who's ever traded, being able to make $6,700 in 36 days with one contract is a big deal, because we could be doing 10 contracts, and that'd be $67,000 over 36 days, and could be doing 20 contracts, and that'd be $120,000 over 36 days. So you got to keep it all in perspective. Okay. Now, if you have not taken a free trial with us, go to the homepage at CFRN.net, and any of these green buttons, free 5-day trial buttons, you can click on them, and it will bring you to this page. I clicked on it. There it is. This page. On this page, all we ask for is your name, your email, and your phone number. You can tell us the biggest trading challenge so we can tailor one-on-one training specifically for you. Okay? Hit the send button, and you'll be sent a confirmation link. You must click on the confirmation link. We don't know you took the free trial until you click the confirmation link. Okay? Okay. And with that, we can pass it back out to fabulous Phoenix, Arizona, overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city park. Dwayne, if you are ready. And John's out there too.
Good. Yeah, you go ahead and just open up his mic.
Okay. Oops. There it is. Okay.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. And by the way, congrats on your consistency. I think what you said is there's a lot of validity to it. I think you make money almost every day. So credit to you, especially in this kind of a market. I'm going to tell you something. There's never been a day in history with more opportunity than what's been going on today.
Oh, it's been
this is the biggest money-making day in history, and I kid you not. Listen, the Dow was down 900 points plus, and I told some people this morning I wouldn't be surprised if we closed positive. And guess what? The TNA has gone positive. Mm-hmm. The Russell is up 6 points. The Nasdaq is only down 60, and this is going to be the mother of all rebounds. And if we go positive today, expect maybe the opposite of what we got yesterday. Was it yesterday when we were up 400 and closed down? Yeah. And here's the secret. Look, I'm telling you, I'm not bragging now or anything. I'm just being factual. I have in front of me. It's taken me a long time to put this together, but I've got a mosaic of information, and I can almost tell what's going to happen ahead of time, almost all the time. And I just missed getting along on this rally overnight that came out of nowhere at about 2 o'clock in the morning. And it was like, the problem with yesterday was after we had this initial rally, we turned, early in the morning and started selling off during the day. I did catch one rally, and to tell you how difficult it was, I mean, like I was up $1,000 in like 5 minutes on this thing. And I was a little bit under. I had to sort of be a little bit steely-eyed because it kind of went negative, but I stuck with it. And then it ran up. And, it was kind of looking pretty strong. And I thought maybe, and I got fooled yesterday. This was the first time this thing kind of didn't work. It had to be when I'm in a position. But the UVs, they were kind of knocking down the UVs, and it wasn't like rallying the markets like it usually. So that's what kind of made me stay in a bit longer than I wanted to. But I ended up giving most of the 1,000 back, and I didn't really. I was a bit mad at myself for not getting out when I should have. But still, the what's going on today, and listen, in spite of what I just said, we're at a critical point right about here. If we fail right here and roll over, that would be, and I kind of explained that yesterday too. I said if this developing head and shoulders kind of formation fails, it's really
now remember this spot, John, right here, that we had highlighted as support. Okay, it gave us a huge bounce, but ultimately it failed, and it took us to this next level, which has given us a huge bounce. If this fails, there's our next stop. And then there.
No, it's bad. And you see, look, remember I said to you yesterday, there's a big sell signal above the market, and I should have really respected that more, because this was an enormous sell signal. Remember we said a while back, before Boeing, remember I said there was a big sell signal on Boeing, and it took a few days before it actually went down, but it eventually crashed down. And then I said, whatever you do, be sure to have buy stops above the Boeing market, because Boeing did rally dramatically. The most amazing thing today is, United Airlines, which got hammered yesterday, is actually positive today.
All right, here's UAL.
Yeah, I mean, look at that. So look. I don't think there's enough technical damage being done to really if we roll over today, forget about it. I think we're done. But if they are planning this right and they've gotten this, anyway, we're going back to last night's rally. Look, whenever you see a decent rally that come out of nowhere, right, and it's really high quality rally and it rallies up as much as it did last night, you've got to be
John,
ready.
are you talking about this rally here?
Yeah.
This is on the 30-minute chart.
That's the one, yeah.
Okay.
You and look, it wasn't a very, what's the word? It wasn't a vertical enough rally. It was a kind of a corrective
Just
rally.
a little bit of a head fake for us.
Right.
And because we never pulled away, we just kind of rolled over. We got back under red and falling, and
and look, because you can see in the volatility. See, I got caught up in that volatility. Yesterday, but that rally was a little bit disjointed. But anytime you see a rally like that, you've got to be disciplined to buy the next rally. And it's hard because, I mean, listen, when the Dow's down 900, you got to go in and buy. But what's great about this rally actually is it's very solid, and you don't want to be buying anything jumpy. You want to see strong, steady moves upwards, so you can get on board the train and stay with it. Now we are getting a little bit of a sell here at the moment, but what's happened? All the way up this morning, we've gone up, we've pulled back. We're gonna, and we actually have a developing minor, inter-morning, if you like, head and shoulders, reverse head and shoulders right now. And I have to tell you that probably the best part of what I'm saying right now is we have a developing opposite buy of yesterday's sell. So, obviously that's a very, important requirement in order to get this market up if it's going to go up. The key level on the Nasdaq is probably 8,800 now. We got to get above that. If we do get above that, we're sort of going to go green on everything. And generally speaking, when that happens, you're going to get some sort of a further up move, but to what extent remains to be seen. But the fact that it happens is almost a mandatory buy situation. Now, our
alert on the S&P last night, by the way, was to sell 30.88. And we've had 1, 2, and right here is potentially our third trigger off the alert. Important prices, important areas, almost always tested.
Yeah, no, that was a great trade, and as you always catch these ones, but it's a tough thing to do, but the discipline that you apply to the markets is a winner. It's just what it captures. I mean, there's almost no sell-off I can ever remember since we've been together that you've missed. Especially these overnight sell-offs that you position for. Now they're tough to deal with because of your methodology, but nobody can take it away from you. Stuff has called some monumental moves, including the last few days. So
that's very kind. Thank you.
Now, look, one of the rules of this game is you have to. As I said to you, probably a month ago or more, when I was starting to use this new technology, I mentioned how strong Adobe was and how it gave me a kind of a heads up when I went to buy the market, and that has been working very well. Unfortunately, Adobe kind of has taken a hit along with everything else, but once again, it's been kind of leading the market higher. But one of the stocks that really kind of stood out in the last few days, and this is kind of interesting, let's pull up Roku.
Sure.
Roku is interesting because look, it's not a FANG, but it's a pretty big deal.
Right.
It has been a high flyer.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, this is something we recommended about $25 a while back, somewhere down there, along with Nvidia, by the way, a few years ago. Now, you see how Roku sort of opened higher, good news, and sold off, and has been like down for 8 or 9 days, something like that.
Yeah, look at that outside. Look at that outside day right there.
Right.
I mean, that tells the tape.
Right. Now, if you can put it on 1 minute,
Mm-hmm.
I'll show you the kind of calls I got on this thing today. And look, an opening like this morning is very hard to deal with because you don't know whether they're just going to go south or whether you're going to get a bounce. And you actually got a bounce on Roku. If you could.
Okay, you want to go back to the open right here?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's going on there? We're not seeing.
This is 1 minute. What aren't you seeing?
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah. I'm getting confused with the times underneath.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, here, let me set this to, it should be set to, because I keep my charts to New York time. There we go.
Yeah, okay. Now, you see how we got a buy right on the open there and actually had a pretty meteoric move. We were up $4,
right?
And then a sell, and then it made a slightly lower low. And look at this thing right now. It's positive, and it's
close the gap.
Yep. So now when you get a high quality stock, you always want to probably got a bit overdone on the downside. Another one which got hit in the last few days was EXAS. Maybe you can go to a 5 minute or get a better perspective on some of these things now.
Okay, I can go 5, 30,
that'd be good.
Whatever you want.
Let's go to EXAS.
EXAS. Okay.
So, see what happens.
This is a 5 minute.
Yeah. Now, actually, put a 10. Maybe you can make it a 10 minute or 15, or even 15, probably 15. Let's go 15.
There's 15.
Yeah. It's been dropping, but there was a rally. There was a tradable rally in excess this morning. Now go to Keys, Keys. That's one of our favorites, if you remember. It's kind of a 5G stock. And look at that. So in other words, if you were looking to buy Keys, today was a great day to do it. And this actually, depending on how we finish the day, could be a higher deal. Now, the stars of the day in terms of opportunity were check out mRNA. Sorry, mRNA.
mRNA, sorry.
Okay, this is one of the recent high flyers. And look at that. It goes a sell on the open, and we actually got a buy signal. I think they halted trading at around 24.90, and then they went a bit lower when they freed it up, and it bounced. And then we actually got a sell signal around 28, and it's going down again. A more quality. This is a really speculative stock, which is why I got hammered. Same thing happened to VIR to a lot lesser extent. Okay, and that's obviously a bigger deal because it's rallying much more authoritatively, right? So in terms of opportunity, look at the buying the dip on that was a big deal today. GILD.
There we go.
Okay, this is a very, very difficult stock to trade because if you go back a little bit more historically, it has a habit of opening higher and selling off.
Yeah, it sure does. Look at that.
Yeah, I actually got a buy signal on that thing right today at down about 7, really down. You can see there was a bit of a buy there, and I had a nice rally. But once again, coming under pressure. So that's kind of, it's kind of working opposite to the market. When the market's rallying, the viral stocks go down. And when the market's tanking, the viral stocks go up. They're kind of taken, so that's now the VIX, the UEXY.
Okay.
People were calling me wanting to buy that thing this morning, and I said, don't do it. I said, stay away. They actually got some people out around 21, and right now the VIX is certainly giving us a strong buy signal on the market. We're not out of the woods yet, but if you can put it on the daily, we might be looking at a kind of a doji situation here, or possibly a negative hammer. Yeah, I mean, look, this could be terminal for the market, that kind of a thing, Just one sec.
Go ahead. Now, Bill just shared that Israeli scientists are promising that in 3 weeks they will have a coronavirus vaccine. Another interesting fact about Israel that you may not know, percentage-wise, based on the population, the number of people in Israel compared to the U.S. and other parts of the world, an astronomical percentage, and someone in the audience may know the exact number, of the modern medical and technological breakthroughs have come from this small country called Israel.
We have a consulting company in Israel that we use. I don't even know if you knew that they're in Israel, but
yeah, you had mentioned it.
Oddly enough, we go all the way over there, get work done, and they do it. They do it quick. They do it quick. They get the work done right away. Gotta give it to them.
Bill also mentioned a tweet. Let me see if I can pull that up real quick, Bill. Let me see that. Of Coronavirus Task Force Plunge Protection Team is quoting a tweet from Walter Bloomberg that yesterday the president put Pence in charge of the Coronavirus Task Force. And today, I guess this just happened, Pence added Mnuchin, Adams, and Kudlow to the virus task force.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's, somebody just sent me. Bill, can you give me a direct link to that tweet, please? If possible, I'll show it to the audience. What I have.
I got things going on with my family. Like Macy's going on a cruise for spring break, and and I may have to fly to Boston next week, and Jake's got to fly to Boston next month, and I want them to get this all fixed before we do all that.
Now, did you see this, John, that Israeli scientists say in 3 weeks they'll have a coronavirus vaccine?
I didn't see that. Who is it? A company or what is it?
Well, let's click on the link and find out. Bill was kind enough to share that with us. So let me just bring up the actual article. See what it says. Team of Israeli scientists are on the cusp of developing the first vaccine against coronavirus, according to the Minister of Science and Technology. If all goes as planned, the vaccine could be ready within 3 weeks and available in 90 days. So it's the Galilee Research Institute that's doing this.
Okay.
It would be these folks right here.
There was a fellow on TV this morning. He was one of these guys who was on the Diamond Princess, and
really?
they were asking him. He's infected and he's in Nebraska, and it didn't seem like they were giving him any meds. I guess this thing, you need a lot of electrolytes. A lot of the fluids.
Okay.
Anyway, his temperature had gone down. I guess the problem is if you got 103 temperature, that's borderline death situation. Or if it goes any higher than that, you usually don't survive. So that's probably one of the problems with this. Secondly, now this, remember I said we're at a pivotal point here. We're starting to pull back a bit, and this is a little bit more ominous of a kind of a top here than what we've been able to overcome so far. So, and we're actually back negative on everything right now, which is a little bit of a warning sign. So I think that we'll have to see which way the market goes from here. But now, going back to the structure, the head and shoulders thing we were talking about yesterday is potentially still intact if we were to recover. If we were able to go positive today and really put in the mother of all reversals, I think that the fact that we actually were able to close positive, if we could, would be one of the greatest comebacks ever, and maybe the number one ever. And secondly, possibly tomorrow, if they come out with some other news that's positive, you could have even a higher close tomorrow. And then I think they'd probably stick it to the shorts on Sunday night and come out with something like an intervention from China, and this thing could rip another 100,000 points higher. That's what I'd be.
We got a 10-point drop underway right now on the S&P, John. And right here, if this doesn't hold 3073, then this 30-minute candle is going to turn red, and then we want to sell this break below the BBC on the 5-minute. I mean, the charts have been very, very kind these last few days.
Yeah, so like I say, when I came on, I said this is a kind of a critical point here as to whether we're going to be able to continue higher, or whether this is just being another rally. And unfortunately, the technical damage done so far is kind of negative, for the even your chart there showing this rally is bothersome, because it still looks like a kind of a corrective rally.
If this does not hold, then You know, we go back to challenge this low at 30.36, and after that 30.10. So this is critical that this holds, because look at the doji we just printed on the 30-minute, right at our trigger. Okay, this is right where we said last night to get short. 30.88.
If you remember the first week of February 2018, you know, we called these moves pretty well on the show, and at that time, you know, I had actually a 10.30 as a bottom this morning, and it came in about 10.35, 10.40. So it wasn't a bad call, but the reason, you know, back in February 18, we had, I think it was actually lunchtime, we were actually on this show, and the market was getting hammered. It was right at the lows, and I said, I think we're going to rally, and then we had this monumental rebound into the Tuesday of that first week of February, and then we rallied into Wednesday, and then I said, you know, if we fall, you know, we're potentially rallying in Thursday like then, if we roll over, you know, we're really in big trouble, you know, back then. And unfortunately, this is a little bit of a similar situation, except it's slightly different because we didn't rally on Tuesday. We tried to rally yesterday and that failed. We're trying to rally again today, and unfortunately, actually looks like a kind of a three-wave rally too, which is even worse. So, you know, unless they something planned for further upside, and it could look. Actually, you know, one ray of hope here is if we do get a reversal, you know, we're more likely to go vertically higher from here if we're going to go higher. So keep that in mind. If we start heading back towards the highs here on a bounce, you know, the market would potentially go vertically higher and would be closer to going positive. So those are your sort of alternatives right now. And you know, you just don't know how much intervention is going on, if there is intervention going on. It certainly looks like that. You know, as soon as I saw this rally come out of nowhere last night, it kind of felt like there was something going on, pretty powerful.
This 30-minute put in a bullish engulfing. No, it actually didn't. Okay, no, that's not. But it's still a very strong signal.
So, boy, you know, this is, look, I think the best advice we can sort of say is keep a cool head, you know, just don't let the market moves kind of phase you, or the enormity of the what's going on kind of get the better of you. You just try and apply your disciplines, because in a situation like today, you know, on any given day, it'd be the mother of all trades, and you're getting these trades, you know, in a matter of minutes, you know, are coming, you know, $300, $400, $500 on a contract, maybe even 1,000. So, but you have to be very, you know, trade location, getting the right entry point. You know, you have to get in. You have to really get in as close to the bottom as you can, because any, you know, chasing the market is very risky.
Yep, sure is.
So, yep. So, on that note, I wish everybody a great afternoon. And
all right, John.
Okay.
Thanks very much.
Bye-bye.
All right, have a good day. All right, guys. Pivotal point right here for the S&P 500 Emini Futures. This is on the 5-minute. Now, again, last night, we drew this in as potential support. If broken, we wanted to be short 30.88. We had a 28 point per contract move. Alexa, what's 28 times 50?
28 times 50 is 1,400.
So that's a $1,400 per contract move. Alexa, is 80 times 50 4,000?
80 times 54,000 is 4.32 million.
All right, we'll just call it 4,000. She got a little carried away. Okay. For anyone that doesn't understand, we have two alert services. When you become a CFRN passport holder, you receive the Concierge Trade Alerts, which you're looking at right now, every night, shortly after the Globex Open. If you did not grab a copy, as I put them up earlier, I'll do it again, just in case somebody wants to grab a screenshot. You're welcome to do so. And this went out at 15 minutes after the Globex Open. Okay. So we dropped $1,400 per contract. We get back above the trigger. We trigger again. And I guess that deserves another 0. And we dropped 80 points, $4,000 per contract. Now we've triggered a third time. Is this unusual? No. Important prices, important areas are almost always tested. If you will learn that, if you will integrate that into your trading strategy, whatever it is. Now, it may not pan out exactly like mine because these important prices and important areas are identified with a proprietary methodology. But you can go back and watch yesterday's radio show or last week's or last month's, or pick one from last year or 2 years ago, and you're going to see the same thing. Our weekly trading zones have been doing their job for over 10 years now. The Concierge Trade Alerts have caught practically every major market move over the last 6+ years. If you're receiving these and you need help trading them as a passport holder, you have access to unlimited one-on-one mentoring with myself or Michael. All you have to do is go to the website and book a session. So think about yourself, your own account. What if last night someone had said, "Psst, consider selling 3088. Could you have participated in this move? It doesn't take a lot of technical expertise. 1, 2, and now this third opportunity. Now, we've got a green candle. Price may dally around here a bit. We may ultimately have a rally on our hands. If so, we will know because we'll close above this high. Okay? I can leave that line there, but just want to show you what I'm talking about. So let's go to the Dow. Zones you're seeing on the chart. Last week's zones. We're below, I believe, every lowest weekly trading zone so far this week. I can't remember a time that that's happened, if ever. But I don't know that we've ever had this kind of a sell-off. Yet with the Concierge Trade Alerts, we are still managing to catch them quite nicely. And Logic 247, I showed you the recap on that. Logic 247 is around the clock alerts on Emini's Futures, Crude, Gold. And this week's recap, we're in week 82. As of 11:30 today, Eastern, we've had 24 alerts. One of those never triggered. That left 23 actionable. One of them stopped out. So 4% of actionable trade alerts so far have been stopped out on the Logic 247 alerts. You know what? I'll scan you through those real quick, and then we'll go back and finish recapping last night's Concierge Trade Alerts. Now we're in week 82. Last week, week 81, this is how we finished up the week. 30 alerts total, 2 never triggered, 28 actionable, 5 were stopped out. 18% of actionable alerts were stopped out. Which brings us to week 82. And Sunday night off the open. A thumbs up means price got to the target. Z's means it never triggered. And a red X means it was stopped out. So there's the S&P. There's crude. There's a hedge on crude. NQ. S&P. So we're into Monday now. Dow, NQ, crude, S&P, 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 Dow, NQ no trigger. This crude was stopped out. Gold, S&P, 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 Dow, NQ, Russell. And so far today, this morning, I said consider being short. The S&P 3064, initial target 3062. All of our traders know to trail if possible. Typically, I would put another weekly trading zone below that initial target, but we don't have a this week weekly trading zone below. Again, this may be the first time in a decade that we've actually taken out the lows. Now, just because we've taken out the lows, by the close of business tomorrow, there's a very high probability the price will have risen above the lowest weekly trading zone. Okay. All right. So we're going to go back to the Concierge from last night. Same 8 markets for 6+ years. All right. On the Dow. And again, the alerts went out at 6:15 p.m. Eastern, shortly after the Globex opened, so that would be the 1800 hour candle, which is the screen candle right here. We said to consider being short 26,790. $26,790. All right, 26,790. There we are. Okay. Selling 26,790 gave us an initial drop down to, we went from 790 to 690 plus. It's 100 points. The Dow pays $5 a point. That's $500 per contract traded. Yep. Then, as we've said, important prices, important areas are almost always tested. So we hit this old zone, we bounce, get above the trigger, we trigger a second time. This time we go from 790 to 690 to 590 to 490. That's 300 points at $5 per point. That makes that a $1,500 per contract move. Price dutifully got back above the trigger. And we got one trigger. We got two. No, there's one. There's 2. You even had a little one right here. 3. And then we had big number 4. So number 4 went from 790 to 590. No, I take that back. It went from 790. Well, I'll show you. Right here is 2690. So at this point right here, just kind of round it. From 790 to, well, how about this? From 2600, which we've touched, 2600 to 790, that's 790 points. Alexa, 790 times 5.
790 times 5 is 3,950.
$3,950. It's a $3,950 per contract move. Now, that's if you got in here and got out here. But what if you got in here and something on your smaller time frame told you to get out here, and maybe you didn't catch this entire move, maybe you waited for an exit signal, took some profit. Just this third and final run, which began at 4:30 a.m. Eastern today, took you to there. And this one we didn't quite pull high enough to get back above the trigger. On the Russell, let's take a peek. On the Russell, last night's alert was to be short 1542. And that came in right about here. Now the Russell attempts to be leading to the upside. You're 15, yeah, I sell 1542. So 1542, we dropped to 36. That's a 6-point drop. At $50 a point, that's $300 per contract traded. We get back above the trigger, do another $300 drop, back above the trigger, and this time from 1542, well, down to just 1500. That's, Alexa, 42 times 50.
42 times 50 is 2,100.
That's a $2,100 plus per contract move. Now, we got above the trigger here. We spiked it. But if we can't take out that high, if this candle, which has 11 minutes left in its lifespan, if that should turn red and that should take us back below the trigger, well, you won't want to miss the next ride to the downside. Every one of our traders got this trade last night, got this trade last night, got this trade last night, and you can start your training today. We're not about just giving you out a signal so that you can go trade blind like out of some kind of black box. No, no, no. First, we teach you how markets work. You got to understand how markets work. Once you understand how markets work, we can then teach you how to read a chart. Once you learn how to read a chart, then and only then can you hope to learn how to trade consistently. See, everyone just jumps in and tries to trade consistently because, well, it just looks simple. But without those first two building blocks, without understanding how markets work, which then leads you to being able to read a chart, well, this is what happens. 9 out of 10 new traders fail. Thanks to our partnership now with PayPal, you can start your training today with no money down, no payments and no interest for 6 months. And that will not only put the alerts in your inbox tonight, or not in your inbox, but in our private Telegram channel for you. You'll also be able to attend tonight's Partners Workshop, which we do every Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. So, back to the charts. We've looked at the S&P. We've looked at the Dow. We've looked at the Russell. And now let's look at the NQ. Last night, the alert for the NQ was to be short 87.97. 87.97. And that was somewhere right in here. But let's define it. 87.97. Okay. So we have 1 trigger, 2 trigger, 3 trigger, 4 trigger. Now, the NQ pays $20 a point. So the number again will sell 87.97. Now, just the first drop took us down to from 97 to 32, and we'll call that 60 points at $20 a point. That 30-minute candle was worth $1,200 per contract traded. And then from 87.97 down to 8,700. That's $100, $20 a point. It's $2,000 per contract traded. And on this trigger, we fell all the way to 85.50. That's almost $300 per contract traded. It's a $6,000 per contract move. And every one of our traders had this notification in their private Telegram channel last night at 6:15 p.m. Eastern. Now, the moves are bigger, the volatility is higher, but our methodology hasn't changed. Fast market, slow market, sideways, upside down, you name it. Because our methodology is based on how markets work, not some kind of slick trick where some indicator jumps through some hoop when somebody plays a certain song on a certain day when you're wearing that blue shirt. Nah, come on. How much time have you spent? How much money have you spent trying to learn how to trade? Here's the deal. Doesn't matter how much time or how much money you spend. It's going to take an awful lot of money and an awful lot of time unless you find someone who is actually willing to take the time, exchange their time for your dollars, to teach you how to trade. Trading's not easy. You'll never hear us say it is. But it can Be simple. Okay? So we've done the S&P, we've done the Dow, the Russell, the NQ. Let's see about crude oil. Look at that. So, if you didn't take a screenshot of the alerts and you don't receive them yourself in the private Telegram channel, what would you have said? What would you have suggested? What would have been your idea to sell crude? Our traders were instructed to consider the short at 48.25. And that's right there. 48.25. Now, how long does it take to learn to receive the signal and put on the trade? However long it takes you to grab your mouse, I guess. You will learn the technical analysis that goes along with this. These numbers don't just appear out of thin air. But I think you've seen important prices, important areas are almost always tested. So we dropped from 48.25 down to 47.84. So we'll call that $400 per contract traded. And then price gets back above the trigger, does it all again. And from 48.25 to 46.25. From the entry to the exit, or to the there's the swing low, and we all know getting out of the swing low is difficult. I'll show you how to get out of this. 48.25 to 46.25. It's a $2,000 per contract move. Okay, but again, getting out of the swing high or a swing low is a tricky business, because you never know that it's a swing high or swing low until after the fact. Okay, so as a CFRN passport holder, you own the indicator set for life, which includes unlimited one-on-one mentoring to make sure you understand everything you need to understand when you need to understand it. All right. Off this trigger, you got red and falling all the way down. Now this little step line, it steps down and over and down and over and down and over. What you're waiting for is it to step down, step over, step over, step over. The close of the first green candle after the crossover. If you were anxious, it would have been this one. If you were really waiting for the deal, the closing price of this candle is $46.86. 46.86. Exit signal. That's the market saying, hey, this move may be over. And so that 46.86 right there. So using the exit signal, does that get you out at the swing high or swing low? Nope. Already explained why. But it can get you out in the neighborhood. Okay. So now we're talking about Alexa, 48.25 minus 46.86.
4,825 minus 4,686 is 139.
So that's 139 times 10.
100 plus 39 equals
Alexa,
139.
That's a $1,390 per contract move. Right there. Vic says, how far below the alert do you set the sell stop? Well, Vic, you should be taking a look at your chart. And I don't know if you're talking about your stop loss. Your stop loss, we teach you where to put that. If you're not sure, book a mentoring session and I'll teach you again where you set your stop loss. When you're waiting for, you can get out anywhere you want because it's discretionary trading, so it's your choice. But if you're waiting for the exit signal, you have to be there to see the exit signal created live in real time to know that this is the exact price. You set the stop loss at 48.80. Okay. Well then, if you set the stop loss at 48.80, I don't know if you got tagged out or not. Let's see on this first trigger. No, I guess not, because the first trigger was here. So at 48.80 you should have done. Well, I mean, the risk, you were risking 400 bucks. No, I'm sorry, you're risking a little more than that. Yeah, you were risking about 600. You know, but was the potential profit from the trade, did it warrant that? It did. Typically, you want to risk $300 or less per contract per trade, but these are very volatile times. So with this sell at 48.25, once price pulled up to the trigger and to the BBC, when it pulls up to the BBC, we expect a move to the downside. Okay, when it approaches it from below. So you could have set a stop at about, call it 48.50. That would have been a 25 tick stop loss, which turned into a $2,000 per contract move, but again, waiting for the exit signal, 1,390. So I hope that answers the question, and thank you for the question. Let's see, the one market we haven't looked at, gold. Gold been kind of sideways. Last night's alert for gold, consider being long. 1647, and that happened right here. $16.47. And from 16.47 we ran up to 54. $700 per contract move. Back below the trigger. This time we run up to 62.5. So from 47, 57, about a 15-point move. $1,500 per contract traded. Back below the trigger, another beautiful bounce. Back below the trigger. Now, we have a bearish cross happening right at the trigger. So as we pull up this time, you might be cautious and let this sort itself out a bit so that you're heading up off the trigger with blue and climbing instead of fighting red and falling. Okay? All right, that covers the Concierge Trade Alerts. That covers Logic 247. And again, when you become a CFRN passport holder, you've got 2 hours of group training every day in live markets, real-time trading, 2 hours every day, from 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Eastern. You have access to unlimited private one-on-one mentoring. You own our proprietary methodology set, our proprietary methodology and our indicator set. That's yours for life. And the Logic 247 around the clock alerts, plus the workshops like we're having tonight on Thursday night, and any special event that happens at CFRN, you're a part of it. Everything a trader needs, one low price. Whoever you are, wherever you are, you will become the 9 out of 10. But there's a possibility you could become the 1 out of 10 if you find a teacher. If you can't find a teacher here at CFRN, there's bound to be one out there somewhere, someone who's actually willing to dedicate their time and resources in exchange for your money. Yeah, we actually charge for this. It's a true story. Not ashamed of that, okay? People don't put a lot of value in free. If it's free, it can't be worth anything. But if it's extremely complicated and costs a ton of money, wow, now that's some good stuff. Really? See, we've not only made it simple, we've made it affordable, and it's available. Call Valerie, 949-42-EMINI, or send an email to support@cfrn.net, and simply tell her you're ready to start your training today. You want to be in the Partners Workshop tonight. You want access to all of the private Telegram channels. You want the weekly trading zones. Everything CFRN offers becomes yours with this phone call or this email. All yours. Let's go to our good word for the day. Stand by. Still checking. Now, is there anybody in your life that does not know Christ? Chances are. 2 Peter 3:9 says this. The Lord is not slow in keeping his promise, as some understand slowness. Instead, he is patient with you, not wanting anyone to perish, but everyone to come to repentance. If you're praying for an unsaved loved one, here's a Bible promise you can stand on today. He is patient with you, not wanting anyone to perish, but that everyone would come to repentance. Now, you can simply remove the word everyone and insert whoever it is you're praying for. As long as there's life, there's hope. The last miracle Jesus did was saving a thief who hung on a cross beside him. In Luke 23:43, Jesus looked over and said, "Today you will be with me in paradise." In the words of the hymnist Annie Johnson Flint, his love has no limits, his grace has no measure, his power no boundary known unto men. For out of his infinite riches in Jesus, he giveth and giveth again. No matter how far gone your loved one may be, God's grace and mercy can still reach them. So keep praying for them. I'm sure thankful my grandmother never stopped praying for me. Isaiah 59:1. The arm of the Lord is not too short to save, nor his ear too dull to hear. And in John 6:44, Jesus said, no one can come to me unless the Father who sent me draws them. So ask God to send somebody across your loved one's path who will show them the way of salvation. Above all, don't get discouraged and give in to doubt. Remember, it's God's will to save them. And when you know you're praying in accordance with His will, you can approach Him with confidence. 1 John 5:14 says it so well. This is the confidence we have in approaching God, that if we ask anything according to His will, He hears us. And if we know that He hears us, whatever we ask, we know that we have what we've asked of Him. That's our good word for the day. Thanks so much for tuning in. Whoever you are, wherever you are, may God continue to richly bless you with His mercy and with His grace. And I'll see you at the bell.
Remember this, there is no greater return on investment than to see a human life changed and given hope. As always, pray hard and trade safe. Any financial information discussed on this show is simply the opinion of our host, Dwayne Reeves, his co-hosts, and guests. To learn more about trading Emini Futures or to take a 1-week free trial in our live trading room, call 1-866-928-3310. 866-928-3310. Information discussed on this radio program should not be construed as a recommendation to buy or sell any security. Always do your own due diligence and consult with a licensed securities broker or financial planner before making any investment decision.